everybody here today and our second virtual 1 million cups. Thank you for hopping on board. All right, it looks like we're live on Facebook, so I'm going to get things kicked off today. Welcome to 1 Million Cups Round Rock. Appreciate everybody's participation today. We've got a great speaker on board. Anthony has been to several of our 1 Million Cup events in the past, so definitely a familiar face, and excited to have him on board presenting today, fellow military members, so that's always exciting. I'm going to start things off a little bit different today because it's been a long time since we've actually played the 1 Million Cups highlight video. So I want to start off with the 1 Million Cups highlight video, which is just a link from YouTube. So going to ease right into that, and then we'll do some other introductory type things and get right into Anthony's presentation.
1 Million Cups is a weekly educational program developed by the Kaufman Foundation. It's a place where our entrepreneurs can come and connect within the community. There's a real kind of vibe or a real energy here that's about supporting entrepreneurs. We have 2 presenters each week, 2 entrepreneurs. They come and tell about their journey. They each have about 6 minutes to present. You're telling people what you're up to, and you're essentially getting feedback from them. There's about 15 to 20 minutes of Q&A. All the questions that they asked us really got us thinking about new ways to think about our business. It was good just to be able to get that feedback from the rest of the community. So over the years, we've added more cities. It's a great energy here to see what's happening across the country.
Last question for you, what can we as a community do for you?
So what can we as a community do to help you crush it? It's what really coalesces the community around every single presenter.
When somebody applies to present to 1 Million Cups, they're instructed to watch a series of videos through the Kaufman Foundation School website.
It's invaluable information for someone who's founding a startup.
I felt better prepared, I felt more confident, and I think a little more focused than I would have been otherwise. And I not watched the video for the founding tools. It was a great way to prepare.
I really like the educational component of 1 Million Cups because it does create that open forum.
You're going to hear great ideas that will help you start thinking even more about what you want to do with your business. What I've learned from other entrepreneurs is very, very valuable.
The cool thing about 1 Million Cups is that you're amongst other people like yourself. Just hearing someone talk about their startup, it just was magical to think, oh, there's other people out there like myself.
Sitting in a room with other people that have ideas too, it helps people to really think, you know what? My idea is worth something. It's worth pursuing. It's worth going after it. Even if it looks like a challenge, I should still go out and try to do it.
Excellent. Well, that's sort of a great reminder of what 1 Million Cups is all about. You'll notice a few differences in how the chamber runs our 1 Million Cups event versus some of the other events. And what we determined when we first started is that having a monthly event that sort of concentrates on one entrepreneur and one goal is the best way to go for us. And it was certainly something that we sort of tied into, and it's been really successful for us. So we want to keep that process going, whether it's virtually or eventually back in person. Hopefully here over the next couple of months, we'll see how things go. My name is Bill Combs, and I'll be your MC today. I'm one of the chamber board members and also an investor in the Round Rock Chamber. We appreciate everybody's time today coming out. If you're not an investor in the chamber, I would highly recommend it. What a valuable asset it's been for No Time for Social and for many other businesses in the Round Rock community. We have an organizing team. Several of us are on here today. So we've got participants from the chamber, community members. I believe Jeff Kickle just popped in. Josh is on board. I'm not sure about Lewis today. We've got Lauren representing the chamber, and the new Lauren representing the chamber is actually on here as well. I think Jeremy just popped on. So we've got a great group of individuals that represents the chamber as the organizing team. So if you ever have any questions about 1 Million Cups, participating, getting involved in 1 Million Cups, whether it's presenting or just being involved one way or another, we would appreciate everybody's feedback. So thank you very much for participating today. Our sponsors, obviously Holiday Inn, we're not there right now, but they've been an integral part over the past year of providing us the space. And for those of you who have been out to the Holiday Inn, when we've presented there, it's really just a great location. Don Quick, been around for 50 years now. My company, No Time for Social, we manage all the digital marketing for the 1 Million Cups page. And of course, the Round Rock Chamber, who kicked off the 1 Million Cups several years back, and again, has really been an integral part of this event. So thank you very much for all the sponsors and of course the Chamber. Now I want to move things over to the real meat and potatoes of things. Our presenter today. So our presenter today is Anthony Gant from At Ease Rentals. And I don't necessarily have a bio on Anthony, but I do know that he is a prior military member. I'll let him sort of explain maybe his backstory and anything he wants to get into. But Anthony, if you want to take over the slide share from here, I think I could probably, yep, there we go. Excellent. And I think you're still muted, Anthony.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Whenever you do the slide share, it does that.
Yeah.
So, as he said, I'm a Marine, active duty Marine. I work here in Texas at the University of Texas with the Naval ROTC as the Marine Officer Instructor. I'm a major. I've been in for a little over 20 years now, and I plan to transition, i.e. retire out of the Marine Corps here in the next 18 to 20 months. But in doing so, I've found a problem that needs to be fixed, and I'm going to talk about that this morning, which is At Ease Rentals. So I will begin to share my screen again so that we can jump into it. And thank you to 1 Million Cups of Coffee and Round Rock Chamber and all of the affiliates that were showed for this opportunity. I'm excited to present. As mentioned, I go to a lot of the events, so I'm happy to be a part of it today. Every year, over 450,000 service members and their families find themselves moving during what's called a permanent change of station. And during that period of time, they're found, for lack of better words, homeless, because if they're moving from one base to another, they have to either sell their home, check out of base housing, or move out of the house that they're renting. And majority of the time, these families find themselves going into a small cramped hotel because right now, that is the only approved method for which they can use in order to ensure that they get reimbursed during their travel. Hi, I'm Anthony Gant with At Ease, which is like Airbnb, but for the military. As I mentioned earlier, the number one stickler or the problem that exists is the federal government prohibits the use of booking platforms like hotels.com, Airbnb, the one that's in our backyard, HomeAway, now known as VRBO, et cetera, primarily because the properties that are listed on those sites have not been confirmed that they're in compliance with federal regulations as it relates to lodging. So a lot of safety metrics that the government wants to see aren't confirmed. Therefore, the listings on those sites are not approved sources for use during any official travel. And this is not just for the military, but for all federal employees. Reports show in 2017, over 27 million nights were spent in hotels because there's no outside resource to allow vacation rentals or short-term rentals to be used. With At Ease, we found the solution which connects military service members and their families to short-term rentals that meet federal compliancy and lodging regulations. What we do is we have someone go to the property to, one, verify that it's a real property with a real person in a real location, and then we go in and inspect the property, which takes about 30 to 45 minutes per location. And then that's done, we register it with the government and list it on our website. It's a real easy process. Now families have the opportunity to use homes, apartments, townhomes, or whatever that is available near the base that they're leaving or going to by going to our website, picking the dates that they're going to be using and checking it in and booking it for their upcoming travel for the permanent change of station. We've also had active duty and reservist members use it for their military training. To date, our traction has been very good, and we started in January 15th, went live with the site. Then COVID happened. We thought that was going to be really bad for us, but it's been a silver lining to where we were able to add 619 listings. We were able to book 190 days from 6 different users, where we got a total of 11 inquiries. And the only reason we lost those 5 inquiries is because the member could not figure out what they needed to do on their end in order to book the travel. But we since then began to work with them and their commands to let them know that this is a valuable opportunity for them. To date, we've made gross revenues over $13,000 and net revenues a little over $33,000. This is an outdated number because we're still taking bookings. The market opportunity in just the US alone for the vacation rental market is a $14 billion industry, but what government spends on those 27 million nights in lodging at large across the globe is a $9 billion market. At Ease has the opportunity to tap into that and bring the short-term vacation rental space to the government, which opens up a $1 billion opportunity overall. Here's a real use case in San Diego, California, where we have a listing from one of our vendors, which is the Cali Farmhouse. It rents at an average of $173 a night, and the cleaning fee is $175. The active duty service member with their family, they rate $290 a day, and they booked with us for 8 days. And what's unique about this is that listing, once it went live, within 2 weeks, it was getting a booking. So At Ease booked it for 8 days at $23.20, paid out the vendor $15.59, and netted $761, which is about $95 a day. If you just think about how we scale that, that's a great opportunity for any business. Right now, what are others doing? Well, you have IHG and Fed rooms at the top left, where they have set fees and they're government approved. But again, that's an aggregated source of listings of hotels and hotels only. At the bottom, the competitors who would come into this market and push us out, again, federal travel regulations ban them and prohibit them. So that's where At Ease has the opportunity to slide right in and take away that opportunity from those others that exist by saying, hey, we offer short-term rentals that are in compliance and we're not a hotel. Our competitive advantage, as you can see here, first to the marketplace for vacation rental homes, compliant homes, travelers verified. We have a cultural confidence, and then we're opening it to federal employees, veterans, with the expectation to go globally and offer this for vacation travel. So there's a lot of opportunity there. My team here on the slide is composed of military active duty service members, veterans, military spouses, and of note, Brian Sharples, who is our mentor and the former CEO founder of Home Away before exiting to Expedia Group. Our challenges today: inspecting individual units so that we can scale and doing it at a fast rate to create a competitive moat, and then increasing our brand awareness on a bootstrapping budget. What we're asking for are introduction to full stack developers, early stage investors, and enterprise property management companies overseeing properties near military bases so that we can increase our inventory, because typically those properties are fairly easy to get in compliance with federal regulation if they're already not so and just don't know. Again, I'm Anthony with At Ease, and this is Airbnb for the military. Thank you, and I welcome all questions and comments.
Thank you so much, Anthony. It's really cool to see the revenue right out of the gate coming in for At Ease. Do you want to pop your 3 asks back up?
Yes.
If you don't mind.
Right now.
Let's go.
I'll bring it right back up.
And I don't see any questions on the chat yet, but on the, so you've got 3 asks. It's interesting that there's not a component on your ask right now on trying to get people to utilize the service. Do you feel like you have that figured out already?
We have a good grasp on it. We've been working with military spouse networks and different marketing agencies that work with targeting and pushing their message out to federal and military personnel.
Very nice.
Also, that one isn't the biggest ask, more so is finding the properties where they want to go.
Yeah. So we do have one question, but just on the enterprise property management companies, it sounds like you've got marketing figured out, but I would definitely look at utilizing LinkedIn, even LinkedIn Sales Navigator. They've got all kinds of super awesome tools within the LinkedIn Sales Navigator platform now that we've even started using at No Time for Social to target our target market. So you can narrow down the list of people that you want to try to contact, put those into lists, begin to individually email them. It is there is some legwork involved with that, but I do think if you were able to sort of pull that off, you'd be able to begin to make some connections there. So I don't know if that's something you're using, but a good step.
No, I didn't even know it existed. I'll look at it, and that's LinkedIn Sales Navigator.
Yep, LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Yep.
Okay.
Looks like Miriam has a question. Can you go over to the cost to the landlord again? Is that a percentage? Is it a dollar amount fixed? What does that look like?
Great question, Miriam. So right now we have a freemium process in place. If the property's in San Diego or Southern California, Texas, between Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio, or somewhere in the Atlantic, Georgia area, it's been zero cost to the landlord. We're working with another veteran who has developed an application to help us scale the inspection process. Otherwise, right now, the cost would be $300, which we've been waiving for certain people. We've been doing Zoom calls to do our inspections since we can't get someone in person, but we want to move it on to the actual manager or their team to do inspections internal. And once they do so, we'll be able to reduce the cost. But to answer your question, right now we're looking at a $300 cost to the landlord so that we can make sure that we cover the inspector, then cover the registration, and then cover the getting it set up with the government agencies. Like I said, we've been doing it for free for the last about 6 to 8 months to get our inventory up. But we're seeing that in order to allow more properties to come on, we're going to need more people. So we're going to have some kind of cost to it to help with the growth of the company.
Got it. On the upsell profit that you're making, are you sort of relisting the property on at ease and the individual never sees what the cost is to the landlord, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
And for the traveler, all of the costs right now have stayed within their allowable lodging rate that the government gives them, which is known as per diem. And then we've come into a unique situation where military users who use their basic allowance for housing have also asked to use some of the properties for long-term when base housing isn't ready for another 3 or 6 months.
Very nice. Very nice. Cheyenne has a question. What is stopping your competitors from entering into the market?
The United States government. I didn't show on one of the slides, but even this year, the government has been cracking down on Airbnb as far as what they aren't doing to make sure that they're in compliance, because they don't just have compliance issues with the properties, but they also have issues with verifying who the lister is and who the traveler is. What I mean by that is there are a lot of cases, if you look them up, where drug smugglers from Mexico have been putting up fake properties, and then fake travelers have been going, so they've been money laundering during that way. And then you have organizations from out of Europe who are crime organizations who have been doing the same thing to launder money back and forth. What we do by verifying that it's a real property and then verifying that they're real travelers or federal employees, we're mitigating the bad actors that will come onto our platforms by one, making sure the property is good, and then that the individual traveling is good. So when it meets in the middle, it's real people doing real business for real purposes.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Excellent. On the early stage investors, can you explain a little bit more where you're at with that and what that landscape looks like for at ease?
Yes, I can. We have a live campaign that launched June 19th with Emcee, which is a crowdfunding platform out of Houston.
Yeah.
In the last couple of days since that launch, we've raised $100,000. So we're well on our way to getting to our end goal, which will help us with a couple of things like increasing the overall easeability for the website, integration with different companies. They're in the vacation rental market. There is this something called property management software, similar to what's in the long-term industry, and they have a opportunity to integrate with our site, or we have the opportunity to integrate with their sites, which will open up our listing bank more than we have right now. So one company we're working with, they have 32,000 listings in the US. Once we get our site upgraded and integrated, we'll be able to have access to whatever properties are in compliance to that 32,000 inventory.
Wow. So that's where the full stack developers come in. What's the minimum investment on the next seed?
Minimum investment is 120,000.
Okay.
And it's a convertible note instrument where we've agreed and to do a 20% discount with an annual 6% interest on the principal.
Okay.
But
And is that the total amount you're raising?
No, the total amount that we're raising is 500,000. The
Okay.
reason I went with the minimum amount, great questions, is one, to close it out, to get the site moving along, because I've been bootstrapping it along. I put about 71,000 of my own money in it so far, which I got a lot of skin in the game.
Sure.
And then to help meet that need that we see coming out in the fall, because all of the permanent change stations have been slid to the right. A lot of the Department of Defense articles that are coming out now saying that they see what was supposed to occur between March and August for permanent change of station moves is going to slide all the way into the fall timeframe and a little bit into January, February of 2021. So we believe if we can hurry up and get the site out by October, we'll be able to capture a whole lot more of that opportunity. And again, integrated with those property management software companies to get even more inventory for the users.
That's exciting. That's really cool. Jeff's got a question. How are you getting your message out to your end clients, to the people that would be utilizing the service?
I'm still active duty. So my wife is a military spouse. So she is infiltrated military spouse Facebook groups and Instagram groups. And then I have a couple of friends who have over 50,000 in one group of military spouses. Another one has over 100,000. So I reached out to them. It's like, hey, Military Mama Network, I need some help, and I need help now. And they was like, we've been waiting on you to ask for help because we want to help our families out.
I love it. It's right up my alley. Love Facebook groups. Dick's got a question on the ROI on the note and the convertible.
Okay, where is that question?
So what is the investor's anticipated return on the note and convertible?
Again, 20% discount with the 6% interest per year on the principal. So if I can give a short example without trying to get into much trouble, I have Jeremy on the line, who is a part of the legal team that represents me, so I got to be careful.
Sure.
But basically what it means, if we take later investments and the cost per share is $1, the investor would get a 20% discount. So instead of paying $1 for their principal instrument, they'll be paying 80 cents. And then once that's all worked out, whatever they have after that 80 cents discount, then it will be worth the dollar value. So I usually give people an example. If you put 10,000 in, 3 years later, it matures. What you'll get at the end of the day is a 12,500 shares. And then those shares will be worth at the dollar amount. Instead of having 10,000 shares and getting 10,000, I'll put 10,000 principal and getting 10,000 shares. You actually get 2,500 more shares.
Got it. So on the first bullet point, obviously, outside of San Francisco, which it seems like every company from San Francisco is moving to Austin, you're in the software development capital of the world at this point. Talk to us a little bit about the full stack developers. Are you just simply throwing out Indeed, hey, we're hiring, or what does that look like from a networking standpoint versus just randomly seeing if you can get people to come in?
The first step that I took initially was going to Capital Factory and doing the different events when we were still able to get out and go about 1 million cups of coffee. That's why I was always coming to the events looking for developers. going to Tech Ranch events and Bunker Lab, all of the events that were going that I felt where the developers would be. I was going to those events. Put out an ad in Indeed, Monster for people who still go there,
Yeah.
Craigslist, and Facebook groups, Austin startup groups to be one of the ones that I've done a lot on the different Facebook pages. But as of late, I've been adding at ease to different sites. It's a site called Handshake, where it gives you access to college students who are looking for internships, and even more so because of the pandemic that's going on, and working with different universities, the ones that primarily focus on tech as like their selling points, like the Stanfords and the MITs and whatnot. We also have been talking to organizations like Galvanize, where they run a vet tech program.
Yeah.
And then a different couple of, I can't remember the other one. I feel bad because I'm always talking to him, but another company where he's veteran owned, and what he does is he also brings vets in, trains them to be full stack developers. So we've been in a lot of talks to try, because my vision is to have this employed by military, federal employees, retirees, military spouses at the core, because they understand the lingo, they're culturally competent, and what we can do is have them easily understand the problem and start building the software towards fixing that problem.
I love it. I love it. There's a question that came in from Jan. Are you concerned that those who stay at these places may bring suit if they get COVID and the government will ask providers to purchase and install additional safety measures that is currently required? Could that affect the pool of properties?
That's a good question. So what we do is we require that all of our listings are in CDC compliance with their cleaning processes, and then we sign the terms and conditions with the listers, the managers of those properties, to say, hey, you understand if something happens, you have the liability for putting our people in harm's way. And then we also have a third party insurer who guarantees upwards to £1 million, so about $1 million or more USD for these type of instances where we're working with them. So anytime someone books, they're covered for any kind of instances. That is one of our highest concerns, and we work with all of our property owners and listers to say, hey, we need you to make sure that things are going well so that we can't have any kind of mishaps.
Very good. Very good. Are there any participants online that have anything to add to reaching out to enterprise property management companies? I mentioned using LinkedIn and LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Anybody have any other sort of information they could provide to that? Maybe Facebook groups could still be one that you tackle that might be a little bit tougher. But if anybody has anything to add to that, I'd love to hear it. Okay. Anthony, anything else you want to talk about with at ease? Any other maybe asks that are not necessarily on the three here? We've got a little bit of time, so.
Absolutely. Another ask would be if anyone is familiar or knows someone that is a marketing strategist. Like the first question is like, how are you marketing to them more? I know we can do a better job at getting out in front of people. My marketing strategy is like, just talk to military spouses and talk to more military spouses and talk to more military spouses. But I do believe that there are other opportunities that we may be missing outside of the military by focusing on the federal government. And then pretty much the marketing aspect is probably the biggest thing. Is like what you just brought up. Have you got LinkedIn Sales Navigator? No, didn't know about it. I'm still learning about that aspect of the world. I understand the government holistically. I've been talking to retirees and asking for their help. I'm actually trying to reach out to a retired Marine general in San Antonio who used to be with Transcom, to bring him on as either a board of advisor or mentor in some kind of capacity, because he still has that connective tissue in that area, with San Antonio being deemed as Military City USA. But locally, just if there are any realtors who understand the short-term industry, to make introductions to, like, connect us to each other, because a lot of the realtors I talk to are more in the traditional sense where they're either doing long-term or selling properties. And it's kind of funny because I have a real estate license, so that's my community, but it's very difficult for me to reach out to them and still try to make sure I'm managing everything that's going on at ease. So if you have anyone that you know of that is particularly focused on helping out with the vacation rental industry, direct them to me.
Very nice. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Does anybody else on the meeting today have anything else to add? Any tidbits you want to share?
I do, Bill. This is Jan Triplett, if that's okay.
Sure.
Anthony, it's good to see you back. I think it's a great
You too.
idea. My next door neighbor's son worked for one of the, to be named later, vacation property groups, and I'm happy to reach out to him.
Okay.
But I also want to caution you, I worked with a client who worked with property management company, and it's not to say all of them are like this, but they're in the business of making money. And so you're going to have to stay on top of it, because sometimes there are additional charges and sometimes there are additional things that they say they do that they didn't do. So it's just a cautionary tale. But I also encourage you to reach out to BOMA. And even though it's not necessarily in your wheelhouse for this focus, they all have connections to each other, as you know, as a real estate person. So sometimes the agents are busy selling houses or renting houses, but the other groups, run into things all the time. And so you never know. So that's my 2 cents.
Very
Thank
good.
you, man.
And Anthony, if you want to pop your email address, any other contact information you want to provide in the group chat, that would be phenomenal.
Okay.
And then I will go back to the screen share for the 1 million cups, if you're okay with that. I'll let that sit for a minute.
Okay.
Let people grab that information real quick. So we really appreciate your presentation today. This is really something cool and sort of what I would call, I'm a big fan of a book called The Blue Ocean Strategy. And this is you in that quadrant up there, right? Creating your own blue ocean. So if you're ever thinking about wanting to disrupt or start something new and exciting that goes against the grain, I would highly recommend reading that book. It's really cool.
I read it. It's a good book.
Yeah. When I first started my first company, I went totally all in with a certain product that did really well for us with my prior company, Hail Watch, and it was a game changer for us. So trying to find that now with No Time for Social, but we're slowly but surely getting there. Excellent. So Anthony's information is in the chat now, and I'm going to pop back over to my screen share. And let's see. Excellent. All right. Is everybody seeing the PowerPoint again? Good. Well, we certainly appreciate Anthony's time today. Thank you very, very much for presenting, coming on board, doing this virtually. I would have loved to have had it in person and shake your hand again, but hopefully here in the future we'll all be getting back together at the hotel and trying to work through all this. We don't have any presenters yet, but we're going to either continue virtually or again move back. If you're on the email list for 1 Million Cups, you'll get this information as we provide updates. August 5th and September 2nd are the upcoming dates. You can RSVP, probably not right this second because we've got the current event up there now, but you want to RSVP to the event, that would be phenomenal, just so we get a count on who's coming. If you know anybody that would get anything out of this, please feel free to forward. I see some new faces on this event today, so it's great to see some new individuals coming on board to 1 Million Cups. We've got an email list of over 500 now, so it's really phenomenal to continue to build and grow this with the Round Rock Chamber. If you want to present, obviously Anthony has been to several of our events in the past, over the past couple of years, and finally jumped in and decided to present. And it's really exciting to have people that attend our events come in later on as presenters and bring their idea, bring their entrepreneurial story to the team, and have us sort of work through their current issues and things that they're trying to tackle. So if you are looking to present, just go to 1 Million Cups Round Rock. All of our information is out there, ready to go. And of course, stay in touch. All of our prior, almost all of our prior 1 Million Cups presentations are streamed, and you can go into the videos on Facebook. So if you're not following us on Facebook, I would highly recommend following 1 Million Cups Round Rock. You can go in. If you want to go back and look at some of the presentations that you may have missed, that's a great opportunity for you to go in there and take a look, and even get comfortable if you're looking to apply to present. It's a great place to go in and just look at what some of the prior presentations have looked like. So without further ado, that is the end of our official 1 Million Cups Round Rock for the month of July. I know if you're in Round Rock, it doesn't look like we'll be having many festivities for the 4th of July. So hopefully everybody will be able to come together with a limited number of friends and family and enjoy the holiday. To the best of my knowledge, I do believe still, I just checked it, that Dell Diamond will be doing a fireworks show. So if you're in Round Rock, I'm lucky enough that we live pretty close to Dell Diamond, so we'll be able to get a view of those fireworks and enjoy the 4th. But if nobody has anything else in the chat, you're welcome to sign off from here, and we look forward to seeing everybody at the next event. Stay safe and stay healthy, and we'll talk to you soon.